All right, so let me show you how you can create this blurry hero entry effect in Squarespace 7.1. All you need for this is a hero section with a background image and some CSS. We're going to be tackling this in 3 steps. First, we're going to create the initial state, the blurry state that this image is going to have right after page load. Second, we're going to create the final state that we want the image to go to, which is going to be the fully focused state. And third, we're going to create the animation that is going to transition between the initial state and the final one. Now, considering the fact that this animation is going to be triggered on page load, we're going to be modifying just the hero section of this page. So I already gave this one an anchor link of blur hero, which is what I'm going to be using in my code. And to make sure that I'm only going to be modifying the image in the background and no other image that I may add into the section in the future, I'm going to be narrowing down my code a little bit more to make sure that I'm targeting the image within the section border container inside this blur hero section. So let's go ahead and set up our selector here based on those requirements. So blur hero, section border, image. So again, now just the image inside the section border container within this hero area is going to get modified. So let's see what this image is going to look like right after the site loads. So I'm going to be using here the filter property, and I'm going to set this to blur 100 pixels. I'm also going to be including in here the transform property and setting this one to scale. So I want the image to be a little bit bigger on page load so that it sort of zooms out and then focuses at the same time, creating that look that you already saw. So with this initial state already set up, let's go ahead and move on to the final state. So the final state is something that we're going to be building within the actual animation itself. So let's go ahead and give this keyframes animation a name. I'm going to call this one focus. And then the only step that this animation is going to have is the final one, which we can address either through the to keyword or through 100%. So what we want is for this to become unblurred. So I'm going to set the filter to none. And then we want the size to go back to normal. So we're going to set the transform to none as well, or we could also use scale 1, whichever. So now that we have the final state here and the initial state in here, it's a matter of connecting the two things. So for that, we're going to go back into the initial state and we're going to add in our animation. So here we need to first call out the animation that we want to use, which in our case, or in my case, it's called focus. And then we need to set up how much time it's going to take for the image to become unblurred. So I think I'm going to keep this one fairly short. Let's use 0.5 seconds. And then because we want the final state to stick, we're going to be using here the keyword of forwards so that it goes from that initial state onto the final state and stays there. It doesn't go back into the blurriness. And last but not least, here we can determine how long after page load we want this animation to be triggered. So let's set a delay of maybe something like 1 second so that we can see the blurriness and then see how everything is coming into focus and zooming out. And then once we have that there, let's go ahead and try it out inside this guest mode. So now if I refresh the page, you can see that we have that blurry mode for about 1 second and then everything just goes into full focus. The image zooms out and then we have the image completely unblurred. And that's everything that I have for you today. I really hope that you enjoyed this small animation trick and that you're able to use it on your next client project. If you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up or let me know in the comments down below. In any case, thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time.